Hi, I'm John, and in today's video, instead of teaching one compositional tip, I'm going to try to cram all of Bach's chorale-style part writing into 5 minutes of video, starting now. Where's the timer? Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. The logo has to come first. So before we dive in today, let me just say quickly that this video is not about the rules and procedures for writing just any kind of good music. It's about the rules and procedures that Bach would have followed if he was writing a chorale. And we're trying to cram all of this information into just 5 minutes or less of video. Or at least that's the goal. So get your Bach socks on and let's get started in 3, 2, 1, now. First off, Bach chorales always have 4 parts according to the 4 voice types: soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. And they usually fall within the ranges specified here. As you would expect, the soprano usually carries the melody line, and the 3 other parts harmonize the melody in the soprano, but each of those parts tends to have a pretty good melody of its own as well. Next we come to some rules for melodic lines. All melodic lines should follow certain general rules no matter what voice they appear in. Here's a summary of most of them. Rule 1, a melody should move by step most of the time. Rule 2, there shouldn't be any leaps by dissonant intervals like augmented fourths or augmented seconds or sevenths, etc. Although Bach does break this rule some of the time, but anyway. Rule 3, if the melody leaps by more than a third in one direction, it's best to compensate for this by moving stepwise in the other direction immediately afterwards. Rule 4, a melody should always be a good storyline. That is, it should always have some kind of build-up, climax, and resolution. And various melodies achieve this in various ways. Rule 5, a melody should not have too many repeated notes, usually. Now let's move on to rules for good voice leading. Rule 1, no parallel fifths or octaves. Rule 2, never move 3 voices parallel for more than 2 or 3 beats, and this applies most often to the 3 upper voices. Rule 3, parallel thirds and sixths are to be preferred to parallel fourths. Now let's move on to rules for harmony, moving from chord to chord. The root of the chord is most often doubled, and then the fifth, and then the third. In the next 3 rules, the root is always doubled, except in one instance. Rule 2, when there is a progression where the root moves by second, either move all the upper voices contrary to the bass, or move the third in parallel thirds to the bass and the other 2 voices contrary to the bass. This second progression results in a triad with a doubled third. Rule 3, when progressing by thirds, you usually want to keep the common tones in the same voices and move the remaining voice by step to the next triad tone. Rule 4, when progressing by fourths or fifths, if you want to think about it that way, you usually either want to keep the common tone in the same voice and move the remaining voices by step to the next triad tones, or you want to move the 3 upper voices in similar motion. Rule 5, generally double the root or the fifth of first inversion triads, like so. The third hardly ever gets doubled. Rule 6, the second inversion tonic triad has the fifth doubled, and this chord is usually used at cadences in this progression. Rule 7, harmonic progressions always follow some form of the pattern tonic, predominant, dominant, tonic. They also tend to fall by fifths towards the tonic. Finally, Rule 8, a chorale can modulate to any of 6 keys that are related to the home key, as demonstrated by this chart. There are 2 kinds of modulations: modulation by common chord and chromatic modulation. Now, just to spice things up, we have a final section on non-harmonic tones. Rule 1, add passing tones by filling in gaps that would otherwise be leaps of a third. Rule 2, add suspensions by delaying the melodic descent of a voice by a beat or half a beat. Rule 3, add upper or lower neighbors by finding a melody where there are 3 repeated notes in a row, and then raising or lowering the middle one to get some variety. Woo! Woo! Oh man, I'm done. How am I doing on time? Oh, not so bad actually. So really, now that I've gone through this 5-minute spiel about the rules for Bach chorales, I find that I don't really have anything left to say, so that's the end of the video. Just make sure that you follow every single one of these rules in your daily life. Otherwise, I will personally buy you a pair of Bach socks so that you will never be able to escape the great master wherever you go.
Don't buy them socks with my face on them.
Just ignore that curmudgeon. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. You do know I was kidding about the Bach socks, right?